I don't want to hear it. I love this rivalry. I am here for every single second of it.
What happens when the most talked about rivalry in women's basketball refuses to cool down?
The second thing, I think this shows that there is a pure hate that Reese has for Caitlin Clark. I'm not sure if this has something to do with the LeBron picture or the Michael Jordan comment, but this shows that there is something real between them two.
You see, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese have been locked into this media-fueled tug-of-war since college, and now it's spilling into the WNBA. The tension, the stare-downs, the fouls, fans can't get enough.
First of all, it's not rivalry. Not when you lose about 35 points on opening.
That's true.
It's not rivalry. Indiana Fever's on a different level than Chicago Sky. Let's get that out the way.
And the truth is, this isn't just about two rookies going at it. It's starting to feel like the early days of Bird versus Magic. Back then, it was about competition, pride, and personality. Today, it's the same vibe. Different stages, but the same fire.
Secondly, as much as we love Angel Reese because she is special, she's not Caitlin Clark as a player. Caitlin Clark is on a different level. We just have to own that. Angel Reese can rebound the basketball. She's a damn good player. She's got a bright future in the WNBA, but Caitlin Clark is next level. That's number 2.
On May 17th, Indiana Fever blew out the Chicago Sky, 93-58. That should have been the headline, right? But nah, all eyes were on one third-quarter moment. Clark is chasing Angel Reese down in transition. Reese is going up for the layup. Clark fouls her.
Rebecca Allen, too strong on a 3. And look out, Caitlin Clark pushes Angel Reese, and Angel Reese gets right up into Caitlin Clark. Afterwards has something to say as Clark.
Was it clean or dirty? Well, it depends on who you ask.
Were Clark or Reese in the wrong there?
Neither were in the wrong because this was a heat-of-the-moment situation.
And right after the contact, Reese spins around like she's ready to square up. Not play ball, square up. That's quick. And it didn't stop there.
Look out, Caitlin Clark pushes Angel Reese, and Angel Reese gets right up into Caitlin Clark.
Aaliyah Boston steps in, words are exchanged, and boom. Double technicals fly out to both Reese and Boston. But Clark? She gets a flagrant one. She stays in the game.
Issue with the way she reacted. I have an issue with the way it's being handled by her, by the Chicago Sky, everybody involved. I have a problem with it being called a flagrant foul. It's a take foul. It's an understandable. First of all, like, can we give the whole picture? The only reason Angel gets the ball is because she shoves Aaliyah Boston in the back. And Caitlin sees that, and she's like, you know what? You're not getting a bucket off of that. I'm going to put you on the free throw line.
Anyway, post-game, Clark handles it like she's been here before. She shuts down the drama real quick. Not malicious, it was a play on the ball. That's it. Calm, even tone, no bait taken.
Let's not make it anything that it's not. It was just a good play on the basketball. I'm not sure what the refs saw to upgrade it, and that's up to their discretion after watching the initial whatever happened during the play and then whatever happened after. We watch a lot of basketball. It's a take foul to put them at the free throw line or rather give up 2 points. I've watched a lot of basketball in my life. That's exactly what it was. I wasn't trying to do anything malicious. That's not the type of player I am,
So you gotta ask, how did Clark keep her cool at that moment? And was that foul really just basketball? Or was there something personal going on under the surface? Here's where Clark flips the narrative. Instead of feeding into the hype, she shuts it down. Post-game, she doesn't just explain the foul. She takes a step further. She defends Aaliyah Boston. She even offers to cover Boston's fine for the technical. That's not petty, that's leadership. This is where you realize Clark isn't here for the theatrics. She's got tunnel vision. She tells reporters straight up, let's not make it what it's not. Simple, no drama. She won't let the media twist it into some feud of the year clickbait. And let's not miss this. Clark's move to protect Boston, that matters. That's a teammate move. In a league where rookies usually just try to survive, she's stepping up and showing what team first looks like. So while everyone else is tweeting about smoke, Clark is playing the long game. She's keeping the focus on basketball. Now this is where it gets really interesting.
No problem. No problem. We're going to go with that. This was a basketball play. You understand? It was the heat of the moment. I got it.
Stephen A. Smith jumps in, and you already know he's bringing the fire. He's not shying away from it. He's calling the rivalry exactly what it is.
It's not about black and white. It's about that white player and that black player. Why? Because of the history that they had before they came to the WNBA. You see, it was all instigated. If Angel Reese was never in Caitlin Clark's face, taunting her the way that she did when mimicking what Caitlin Clark was doing to numerous opponents en route to the Final Four. And then Angel Reese and LSU bust their living you-know-what at that particular moment in time. And Angel Reese was in her face chirping at her the way that she did. It would have never gotten to this point. But I have never deemed that to be a bad thing. I love that kind of confrontation. I love that kind of heat. But there are white folks in America that had a problem with Angel Reese coming at the chosen one, Caitlin Clark, that way. And because of that, they acted with a level of vitriol. How do we know that?
According to him, this Clark versus Reese storyline is the modern version of Bird versus Magic, and the WNBA needs it. Smith makes it clear that it's not about race, but it's about these two players. It's about the competition, the story, and the history.
How great Michael Jordan was, obviously, it started with Bird versus Magic. Yeah, you could talk about Showtime versus Boston, but that white superstar losing in that national championship game to that dude called Magic at Michigan State when he was at Indiana State, and then ultimately coming into the NBA, and they constantly met in the finals about 3 times, and they owned most of the 80s in terms of the two teams respectively. The bottom line is it contributed to elevating the popularity.
Yeah.
So Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, embrace this. It's okay.
Yeah.
Because all y'all do is competing.
Let's not act like this. Clark versus Reese debate came out of nowhere. People remember that NCAA showdown. LSU versus Iowa wasn't just a game. It was a whole event. The Final Four stage was packed and millions were locked in. Reese had her moment, Clark had hers. That whole back and forth lit up the internet.
Monica McNutt joining the conversation. Great to have you. Chanae, I'll start with you.
Hey, I say.
Hey, were Clark or Reese in the wrong there?
Neither were in the wrong because this was a heat of the moment situation. And I want to take a second to laugh at Aaliyah Boston, who was like, how did I get caught up in the sauce? Get a technical for playing peacemaker in this. But still, I want us to look at the play because it's very important. This happens in basketball all the time. So Angel Reese pushes Natasha Howard in the back, which angers Caitlin, and Caitlin gives a no free buckets foul with some extra sauce on it, which correctly gets assessed as a technical.
Rivalries like that don't just fade after the final buzzer. When two players go at it like that on a national stage, it sticks. So now, fast forward to the WNBA, and that tension didn't just disappear, it carried over. Same intensity, just new jerseys. And when they share the court again, you can feel that old heat simmering underneath. Smith says it plainly, I love that kind of heat. They're just competing. That's what fans want. That's what the league needs. He's not wrong. So the real question is, what if the WNBA stops trying to tone it down and just leans into it? Could this rivalry help the league explode?
My ask in all of this is just respect as a base level, right? Respect both of these women as athletes, respect the humanity of both of these women, and as I said, allow them to compete. Now,
aside from the on-court drama, Clark's making moves off the court too. She's not just playing games, she's speaking out. She's firm against hate, racism, bigotry, abuse. Clark says, no place for that in our game or society. And Stephen's response to that was top-notch.
And racial animus exists in this world. And to a lot of white people out there, I've said this on many, many occasions. If you're not one of them no good bastards that would do something like that, feel something like that, say something like that, nobody's talking about you. Don't personalize it and embrace it as if black folks and other folks are lumping you with them. No, we know how to isolate. We know how to look at a Susie Schuster and say she's a wonderful woman. She's straight up. She don't play. She don't tolerate no nonsense, but she's a damn good woman. She's been my friend for decades. I love her. I know her. Compared to some white woman that might be a racist, okay? Or some white man that might be a racist compared to your husband, my buddy, Rich Eisen. It's ridiculous. We know how to decipher and distinguish the difference between no good people and people who are really, really good and loving people. And as long as we continue to be that way, those folks will be on the outside looking in, wishing they were us.
That's right.
We'll continue to march forward doing what we do.
She's standing behind the WNBA's No Space for Hate campaign, and the league's going all in. They're even using AI to monitor online threats and abuse. That's how serious it is. Clark and Reese, for all the noise around them, have kept it respectful. No cheap shots in the media, no personal digs, just basketball and accountability. That's a win.
Is that she fouled somebody else really hard before Caitlin pushed her. So she pushed a member of the Fever, and then Caitlin pushed her. So it wasn't just Caitlin pushing her. It was also, you pushed my teammate super out of the way, and now you look like you're trying to get an easy basket after they let you go with a foul. and now she fouls her really hard. So I saw both of those things.
Clark's presence is pulling in massive attention, but she's not letting it get messy. She's using her voice, not just her game. That's what makes her more than just a scorer. She's becoming a symbol for where the game can go. And while everybody was busy breaking down that foul, Caitlin Clark was just out there doing what she does best, hooping. See, she didn't just play well. She put up a triple-double. That's 20 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, and even 4 blocks. You don't just stumble into numbers like that, especially with all that noise going on. She was locked in, like none of the drama fazed her at all. Here's the deal. After that third quarter foul and all the heat that came with it, Clark didn't lose her focus. She didn't get rattled. She didn't get into it with anyone. She just kept the game moving. She pushed the pace, set up teammates, and controlled the tempo. That's the kind of composure you don't expect from a rookie. But there she was, steady in the storm, running the floor like a vet. Anyway, that 93-58 blowout wasn't just a regular win. That was the second biggest margin of victory in Indiana Fever history. And who was driving that? Clark. She didn't just show up. She made sure the Fever kept the foot on the gas. Every run, every shift in momentum, you could see her fingerprints all over it, scoring when they needed it, finding the open player, locking in on defense. She was everywhere. This wasn't just about stats on paper. It was about the impact you could feel while watching the game. The ball was moving smoother. The team energy shifted. Clark was the connector, the creator. She made the game look easier for everybody else on the floor. And that's a big deal, because it means she's not just producing. She's making her teammates better, too. Aside from this, let's talk about the crowd. That game wasn't just any regular season matchup. It drew a serious audience. Packed house. New fans. In fact, it had an all-time record of 17,000 people in attendance. It wasn't just about the Fever and Sky. It was about Clark and Reese bringing eyes and energy. The league announced it was one of the highest attended games for the Fever in years. That says something. So yeah, Clark is over here shifting the whole temperature of the league. She's putting up numbers, stacking wins, and filling arenas. That's not just a good rookie season. That's a player changing the atmosphere around her. Here's what's wild. This was just round 1. Fever and Sky run it back in June. And yeah, everybody's watching now. Not just fans. Media, league execs, even casuals. All eyes on this rematch. So the question is, can Clark and Reese keep this thing competitive and still respectful? Can they keep the same intensity without it getting ugly?
In the end, the WNBA is moving upwards. Both of those young ladies are going to be incredible contributors to the product and the brand. The fan base should continue to love the WNBA and support the WNBA as we all do.
Because let's be honest, the league's got a chance here. Storylines like this don't come often. The WNBA could ride this wave and pull in bigger crowds, bigger ratings, bigger moments. Is Caitlin Clark already the face of the WNBA? And can battles like this one finally give women's basketball that long overdue push into the primetime spotlight? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching.